Man, I go for Thomson, but I reckon it'll be a great game.
Eric, I just got to draw your attention to something. Heard a lot about this Stuart Hollingsworth from Werribee, but he's gone to the bench now. This is a bit of a ploy by Chris not to see him so early. I'm not sure.
Well, it'll be interesting to see just who does what, and I'll get you to keep an eye on who's playing where. It looks like Gage in the ruck against... Well, actually, it's Clonan, so that's a bit of a surprise packet. The tallest man in the ground's in the goal square. So
Ducks and Drakes already. We haven't even. I was going to say we haven't had the first siren. We've got it now.
So the siren sounded, and the 2006 season is now underway as the ball goes in the air, up high. Clonan gets the tap down for Werribee Central. Thrown forward, now kick off the ground by Clonan into the arms there of the new player in Welsh. He's a fairly chunky sort of a guy, but the ball is at half forward for Werribee Central's. Thomson defending very early in the piece. There's a whistle on the play, and umpire McLeod will move in. Half forward flank for Werribee Centrals, and the ball about to be put in the air.
Other side of the ground too. Thanks, fellas. That's terrific. Baptism of fire. Half forward flank for Werribee Centrals. No score yet. We've gone a minute and a half in this first term. Season 2006 pipe opener. Ball to ground. Fisted forward by Werribee Centrals. Into the arms of Festuca. Left foot around the boundary. Dribbles one towards goal. Swatted away by a desperate Thomson defence. That was Aaron Badley, and he's got the boundary.
He has done, and a pretty interesting start, Laurie. The ball's moving pretty quickly, although it's with the wind.
I just see a match up here, Eric Rowland Beck and Tim Garden. That should be interesting.
Absolutely. Ball thrown in.
Corey Wallace.
Doing the ruck work there.
Corey Wallace
in
off the
ground.
forward
line. It was knocked forward by Clayton into the path of Wallace. He's kicked it off the ground, unfortunately, only behind. But that's the first score of 2006. It's a behind to Werribee Centrals, and that's on the Victory Trophy's first quarter scoreboard.
Ball to be put back into play now by Thomson. They trail by that 1 point. It's Atchison. Drives it to centre half back. Big flyers everywhere. No one comes down with the ball. Probably a little bit greasy. One Thomson player cops it in the back. Play on calls the umpire. Flop to the ground by Festuca. He'll get the free kick, I think. Here's Will. It's Mark Henry. Henry wants to direct play into the middle of the ground. Oh, beautiful kick too. Picks out Aaron Bradley. Takes the mark on his chest quickly to centre half forward. Just shoved out nicely. The mark's paid. Andy McDowell, the new fellow. At centre half forward, a long way out, puts it on its way, a little offline. Desperate defence needed by Werribee. They're going to come out of it in 2s and 3s. Werribee through half back, looking for the boundary line down there, or the Werribee player in Corey Wallace. The boundary line beats him, and we'll get a throw in on the wing, outer side of the ground here.
Very experienced player, Phil. Corey Wallace, been a good player for the injured in the finals last year, and didn't take a great part in it. But the ball's thrown in now, just forward of centre wing, outer side for Thomson. Goes to ground. Jewel leads in the race for the football. Can't control it as he falls to the ground, and it's over the boundary line. They've gained a few metres, Thomson. The only scorer in the game so far behind to Werribee Central's Thomson. This is their second foray into the forward half as we await the ball to come back from over the fence. Did you have that problem in Ballaroon? People have to hand the ball back in.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's a perennial problem in local footy, but
grassroots footy, that's what we love.
Parcel, isn't it?
Yep.
So the ball now thrown in. Big pack Gage, big punch forward there for Thomson. Following up, unable to control the footy. It's flicked out wide. There's a kick forward for Thomson. That was McDowell again. He's been prominent early. The ball's in the forward pocket now for Thomson, but rushed over the boundary line once again. 15 metres from the behind post, and the ball will be thrown in once again.
And while we're on the Cheerio trail, from Mount Macedon, would you believe, a mate of mine, ex-South Melbourne footballer in the long old days, Robert Stibbard, has phoned in loud and clear the pulse in Mount Macedon as the ball's tossed in. It's with Thomson. High kick. And there's a whistle on play.
Out of bounds before the kick, I think.
Yes, he's run himself out and then from a standing start. That's not bad, is it, Mount Macedon? It's good stuff. 94.7, right round Victoria.
Probably snowing there today, I reckon, Phil.
It's always snowing there. Here's the throw in. Forward pocket, between the forward pocket and the wing. Top tap down, straight to Festuca. Little left foot kick. Oh, beautiful stuff. He's picked out his teammate out there on the wing.
It's a bit like O'Malley's build, but I wouldn't guarantee it.
Anyway, they're a long way away from us. We'll pick him up in a moment. And he's taking plenty of time there, the Werribee boy. Puts it on its way to centre half forward. Stands up in the wind. Good mark in the front of the pack for Thomson with Steve Daniels. Plays it on quickly. Into the middle of the ground it goes now. Thomson in 2s and 3s. Werribee hot on the football. They need to get clearance here. They can't do it. Chopped off beautifully by Henry. Right foot kick around the body to the hot spot. chopped off nicely there for Werribee Centrals by Chris Gillum, the coach, to steady the ship.
So Gillum goes out wide to the defensive side of the ground, kicks long to the lead there. Mark not taking his players dive toward the ground.
Might have been Carlton, was it?
Possibly Heath Bucket might have been a long way out. He's so much lighter. It was Heath Bucket.
I just wanted to say Carlton.
In the throw-in goes forward from Gage. Thomson at the drop of the foot, he picked up again, kicked forward. Numbers there with Werribee Centrals, and great defensive mark by Tim Cunningham. Good player at centre half back. Goes to the middle of the ground. Wallace is in there, but he's got competition this time. Coming to the ground is Christian Highland. Well, he kicked it into the ground as much as kicking the footy. Handball comes from Nick Maharis to Timmy Gardner. He's strong. A handball back to Christian Highland. But at centre half back is O'Malley on that occasion. Takes us at defensive mark, and they play on quickly. Out wide to Roland Beck. Over to Chris Gillum. Handball to Festuca. All the old faces, Laurie. They're all getting a mention there.
Yeah.
As Festuca now on the left foot goes towards centre half forward for Werribee Centrals. And there's a great mark by Chug.
Chug-a-lug.
Cookie's mate, he's made him.
Chug-a-lug kicks the ball into the forward pocket. On the burst down there, a couple of players swamped by Thomson defenders, and they just belt the ball towards the wing. Chopped off again now. Another opportunity for Werribee. Inboard hand pass winds up in the hands of Cunningham, one way then the other. Dribbles it to half forward. The Thomson player overran it. Opportunity there for Werribee. Standing start. Antonello doesn't quite have the carry, does it? One behind.
So it's a second behind to Werribee Centrals. That is their score. 2 points. Thomson yet to score. Victory Trophies first quarter scoreboard. As the ball now kicked in quite quickly. Out wide for Thomson. It's over the head of all players, and Chug just let it roll toward the boundary untouched. And that is a free kick to the Werribee Central side. Untouched from the kick in.
Cornish went off, Eric, and Twait's on. There must have been a mismatch there because one's a small and one's a tall.
Okay, so Chug now plays on quickly from almost centre wing. It was a good kick out there. Up high, Mark. Well, not taken on that occasion by Bradley. And it's picked up. I didn't see. Was that Carlton?
Yeah,
picked
it's
it up?
Carlton.
The big fellow, and Clayton, beg your pardon. And Clayton has kicked the first goal of the game, and it's for Werribee Centrals. They go to 1-2-8. They lead Thomson yet to score. Victory Trophies first quarter scoreboard, and 7 minutes gone, Laurie. It's been quite an entertaining 7 minutes.
Yeah, it has been, Eric, and I've noticed the Werribee good players are in the right spots. Cunningham, Jewel, they just know when to sweep around that pace to get themselves in a position to take a handball. They've started off, they'd be pretty pleased with that. I think started off pretty well.
They tell me there's number 24, Andrew Cunningham, for Werribee Centrals.
Yeah, well,
his uncle allegedly taught him all he knows. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah.
Grubby reckons he taught him well.
The ball's in the middle of the ground, won by Thomson. Couple of hand passes, winds up with Dowie, belts it to centre half forward, no mark paid. Hands and knee stuff from the Werribee Central's defence. Swatted out towards the wing there, picked up by Highland, tagged high, gets it off to Gurkovic. Does the old don't argue, then lays the little left foot dribble kick for the boundary line. A little bit of push and shove going on, Gurkovic and Wallace. Ironic cheers from everybody.
Timmy Gardner had a word to say to Corey Wallace. I think that's what the cheer was for.
Well, we got the boundary line anyway, so that's where Gurkovic wanted it. There's the ruck work done. Down towards Gillum. Get fresh air kick. Ball back in the middle of the pack. They all swamp on the footy now. We'll get a whistle. Umpire crosses himself and a ball up. Half forward flank. Broadcast side of the ground here at Godfrey Street.
Looks like Corey Wallace, Laurie, might be running with Gurkovic.
Yeah, I think he might be.
Sun is out too, and getting in their eyes, would you believe? It's typical Victorian weather, isn't it? As Thomson wind up with the footy now, it's Harriet, just chips it around the corner. He was looking for the run of McDowell, missed him. And the ball eludes all players over the line. Boundary throw in forward pocket, broadcast side of the ground, the end of which Thomson are kicking. They trail in this game. 1-2 to Werribee Centrals. Thomson yet to score, so it's an 8-point deficit. Thomson opportunity now in the van. Kicked out of the pack. Errant kick. Out of bounds. Boundary throw in forward pocket once again.
So they're trying very hard, Thomson, to get a score. 9 minutes gone first quarter. 1-2-8 Werribee. Thomson yet to score. Ball thrown in. Arrive at the head of the goal square for Thomson. Picked up by Werribee. Can't get a kick away. This time Dixon there gets a handball out wide, and the ball kicked for Werribee to the defensive side once again. And obviously, Laurie, the wind really taking the ball to the Godfrey Street side, the outer side here, and no doubt that's a defensive side.
Yeah, it's certainly going to cause a little bit of havoc out there today, Eric. You've got to try and win that ball and get it back across here in the position. And I think Werribee are trying to do that, come down the middle as much as they possibly can. And they will need to, because there's a fair breeze there.
So the ball about to be thrown in. Half forward flank outer side for Thomson, kicking to the western end this first quarter. Ball thrown up. Gage missed it by a foot, but umpire indicated he was pushed out. So handball quickly to Nick Maharis. A long kick to full forward. Oh, great saving mark, Brad Dixon for Werribee Centrals. He's an experienced defender. What's happened here? The umpire... No, he's paid a free kick in
Ross
the back,
Panther.
and it's gone to Ross Panther now. I didn't see that. Did you see?
I did not.
Umpire was a lot closer than us, and in the pack, Ross Panther obviously infringed. And now 15 metres out, near enough to directly in front, the opportunity at least to post the first score for Thomson.
He's a goal kicker, Eric.
He is. He's about to move in. It's a lovely looking kick off the boot. Ross Panther has kicked his first for the season. He's kicked Thomson's first. They go to 1-6. They trail Werribee Central's 1-8 on the Victory Trophy's first quarter scoreboard. 10.5 minutes gone.
Yeah, well, I think the Thomson boys will be pretty pleased with that, Eric. That was a lovely goal. I know it was from a free kick, but I really think he underachieved a little bit last year, Ross Panther, myself, and they'll be expecting a big year from him. And if he can spark up it forward, they'll take a lot of pressure off Nick Maharis, I think, and those blokes will probably be better players for it.
We probably got 70 goals early in the year. When I say early, didn't get a lot in the last 4 or 5 games.
Well, yeah, I count the games in the finals, mate, when the pressure's on.
Ball back in the middle and in the air. Bit of a dead heat from the ruckman into the arms of Gurkovic, who sharks it beautifully. Long left foot kick to the left forward pocket here. One way, then the other goes Harriet. And then his kick is smothered off the left boot. And good play from Werribee Centrals. That's Rowan Thwaites to get hands to it. Over the line, boundary throw in.
That might have been the mismatch you're indicating, Laurie.
Yeah.
Thwaites is now on Harriet, so that might have been where they went unstuck.
Here's the throw in now. And Thomson wins it across the front of the pack. Gage, he read it very nicely. That's not going to do them much good, though, because it's all Werribee Centrals at half-back now, as Gillum just measures the kick and looks for his teammate down there. Tumbling attempt from Cunningham, can't take the mark. Then there's a wrestle, a big wrestle on, and the ball is put over the touchline, so to speak. We'll get a boundary throw in once again. Right in front of the broadcast position here. Good opportunity to see all of these boys up close and personal. Time clock in the first term here, ticked away 12 and a bit minutes. And it is a 2-point ball game, the way of Werribee Centrals. The umpire decides to throw it up. He does throw it up. So it must have been before it went out of bounds. Now it's out of bounds, off the hands of Gage, and we'll get a ball in this time in the same posse.
So almost in front of our broadcast position, the boundary umpire with the football now brings it into play. Good tap forward by Werribee Centrals, intercepted by Henry for Thomson. He can't get a kick. Highland handballs it forward as the ball is picked up for Werribee Centrals. So ball now goes towards centre half forward for Werribee, picked up by Dowie at half back. Across the ground, he's looking for a teammate in Shand of Thomson. He can't control the footy but gets a free kick, and now it goes back behind the mark as takes the free kick. Well, the umpire won't allow Shand to take that kick.
They must have a fax going.
So Shand now has, okay, the ball back on. Okay, thanks. So back at Thomson now. We've had a small technical problem, and ball is at centre half back for Werribee Centrals. Free kick to Jason Festuga. No change to the score. 1-8 Werribee Centrals, 1-6 Thomson. 13.5 minutes gone first quarter, with the free kick in the hands of Jason Festuga for Werribee Centrals at centre half back. Taking a long time. Now whistle to continue by the umpire. Go straight down the ground. Long kick with the bruise behind him. As the mark now has taken.
It's gone out again. I don't know whether they're touching the fax machine yet.
We'll know when they come on that. We'll know it comes back. We'll hear when they come back on.
Ross Panther again.
Can't believe this continues to happen.
Oh. We're now getting you, Scott.
We do, yeah.
Okay.
And we're back after another small technical problem. In the meantime, Ross Panthers kicked his second goal for Thomson, and I do believe they've hit the front 2 straight, and they lead by 4 behinds, 1-2-8.
Yes, so Thomson there, 2 goals, lead Werribee 1-2, as Phil has indicated. Ross Panther has kicked his second goal, and we're 15 minutes into the first quarter. We're having some technical problems out here at Godfrey Street, hopefully.
Start of the year, Eric.
Yes, it might be. So we hope that we can now get an uninterrupted broadcast through as the ball back in the middle of the ground, this time with umpire Brooks. And as a result of that goal, he will put the ball in the air in the middle of the ground once again. Clonan up high, beaten by Gage, who's doing very well in the ruck, but ball very well read in the middle by the Werribee side through
Wallace. It was.
That was actually Shannon in there. He's looks very much like Verstuker, I reckon, but the ball very quickly is into the forward line for Werribee. Hits the behind post, out of bounds, no score, and the ball will be thrown in. 15 and a half minutes gone, first quarter, 1-2-8. Werribee trail Thomson 2 goals, 12.
Thought Cunningham could have done better with that kick around the body. He missed everything, and maybe the wind's playing a bit of havoc up that end.
I think it is.
As Gage goes over the top, kick out of the pack towards goal for Werribee Centrals. Oh, Thomson dangerous across goal. They'll get away with it, will they? Yes, they will. As the ball dribbled, no, taken away now for Werribee Centrals. Well read, O'Malley, and booms one.
You can't kick a goal from there.
And booms one from the boundary line. And, well, if we've got a goal of the day, that's leading.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, it certainly is the leading one. There's no doubt about that.
I think the wind might have helped it. He's hooked it around the body from the boundary line, 35 metres from goal. It's floated straight through the middle to give Werribee Centrals back the lead. 2 goals, 2-14. They lead Thomson 2 goals, 12 victory trophies. First quarter scoreboard, 16 and a half minutes gone.
Yeah, I don't know where Tim Cunningham was going to. He's way down the ground there, but that was a good goal. There's no doubt about that.
So the ball back in the middle. Umpire to recommence play once again. Clonan and Gage. Gage, I tell you what, the basketball experience is standing in good stead here. Laurie's jumping straight and high.
Ooh.
As the ball goes to half forward. Timmy Gardner nearly had the head ripped off, but he gets a handball to Highland. Goes towards full forward. The lead came out there from Panther. He now is very closely attended by, have they made a switch up there, the Werribee side? I think they might well have. I don't think Dixon's now on him. No, he's still there. So that's a great contest. But the ball out of bounds, half forward flank for Thomson.
There's the throw in now, just pinched across the front of the pack by Harriet, and in fact left it go for his teammate who didn't quite get hold of it, and a bit of a wrestle ensued. We'll get another ball up, same posse. Half forward flank out of sight of the ground.
Pretty solid defence here, Laurie.
Yeah, mate, they're putting a bit of time into Gurkovic too. They're not letting him get too far away. I've just been watching it off the ball there, and wherever he goes, they're sitting on him, so they've heard something.
Well, Verstuker's just going everywhere he goes, and there's the throw up. The ball makes it to the ground. Is that Verstuker or Shannon this time? Similar looks.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a free kick picked out, but no, it goes Thompson's way into the goal square. Panther flies across the top of the pack, missed the mark.
Timmy Gardner kick off the ground.
At the back of the pack, yes. 1 behind. So that's the first blemish on the Thomson scoreboard.
It's a 2-1-13 Thomson. They trail Werribee Central's 2-2-14 victory trophies. First quarter scoreboard, we've been playing 18 minutes. Short chip in there came from, well, Dixon didn't do the kicking. He's received the mark. So they're alternating kickers. Simmons it was, kicked the ball in. Now Dixon long towards half-back flank numbers with Thomson, and they spoil the ball over the boundary line. Between wing and half-forward, Godfrey Street side here at Thomson, and we await now the ball to come back in. But it's an entertaining first 19 minutes, Laurie.
Yeah, it certainly is, Eric. Chris Kelly's just come onto the ground, I think. He hasn't been on for the whole quarter, has he?
No, perhaps they're trying to organise some mismatches too, Werribee, because they're certainly chopping and changing as the ball now thrown in. Players running hard at the football there in half forward, and Christian Highland dived on it, unable to get the ball out. Somebody dived on him from Werribee, and it's very congested at the present moment as both sides playing ultra defensively, and I guess it's going to be a test of endurance before things finish here. As the ball now up in the air, half forward flank, Highland again at the drop of the footy. He's playing well, gets the ball to half forward, but Chris Gillum there looks as if he could well be almost playing a loose man defence, Laurie.
Yeah, well, he doesn't normally do that, but
surprising.
He'd be soul searching a little bit. Maybe he thinks if he can get up there, he can push into the. They've got a completely different side this year, haven't they?
They have, certainly, and they're playing a different style of footy as the ball goes out of bounds on the full half-back flank for Werribee Centrals.
So Werribee with the free kick from the half-back flank to the wing. Big pack, soars high. Picked up at ground level by McLeod. Hand pass to nowhere in particular. Comes off. Thomson going forward into the hot spot. Panther shoves his man out of the way, then doubles back around him. Chopped off there for Werribee by Jewel. Jewel just spots the coach and gets it to him in Gillum. Back again it goes. Good play from Werribee. They're moving it in. They've got the loose man going. This is Juggalug who gets the ball to the wing now. Chopped off down there for Thomson. Goes crashed with the arm and breaks it and runs his full measure down there. And that was Madden. And the kick's a little bit offline. Cut off by Werribee again. They go forward. Whistle on play. Free kick, I think.
Free kick to Thwaites, I think, or relay free kick.
Gurkovic just asking exactly what's going on. He'll stand the mark.
It was after the kick, was it?
Yep.
From the wing. And the kick is very high. Oh, whistle on play, and it might have been a bit premature. It was going to be Gage taking the mark, but it was a free kick.
Free kick off the ball.
Was it? Dowie with the footy now. Switches play across the ground towards Shand running onto it. The curly hair and the socks down. Drives it in the way into to Jackson McLeod in his direction. That's what I was trying to say, but I made a meal of it. Moves it quickly and gets it into the middle of the ground. Mahiris overruns it. Out wide, it goes towards Gurkovic. Can't quite trap it. Werribee desperate in defence and good. Oh, spilt by Gillum just when you go to wrap him up.
It's hot in there.
It is, and McDowell throws himself on the pill at centre half forward, and he's held it in beautifully for Thomson.
Great to see young McLeod making a debut for Thomson.
Yeah, well, he's 16, Eric, and his first game in senior football. He's had one kick and one handball, so it's a pretty good start.
Coach, his father, a former coach here, and Greg McLeod, and he'd be thrilled a bit to see his boy playing. As the ball at centre half forward now for Thomson, picked up by Festuca. Not too sure where to go. Ends up going wide. Mark dropped out there. Should have taken that one, Chug, and well, he's pretty upset with himself for dropping the mark because Werribee were away had he taken the mark, but wasn't to be. So the ball's still forward of centre for the Thomson side. 22 minutes gone first quarter, and the ball will be thrown in once again. Boundary umpires at work getting their money's worth today. Gage down to Harriet. Harriet off the left foot. Thomson forwards, Laurie. I think they've got to get in front. The wind's holding the ball up.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt about that. So
Chris Gillum, the free kick goes wide, finds Jewel. He just chips it over the top once again, and they're trying to create something here. Werribee is Chug on the outer wing takes the mark. There's the lead coming forward there from Thwaites. Unfortunately, dropped the mark as he led forward. Now he's over the footy, and I think he might be gone. And the free kick will go to Madden of Thomson on the outer centre wing.
Madden with the footy now. Just waiting for someone to make a move for him. Got a bit of sun in his eyes too. Calls him forward, then kicks it. Long right foot kick to centre half forward. Fading across the front of the pack was Mahiris. Couldn't take the mark. Here's Jackson McLeod. Runs past the footy. Opportunity for Werribee. Thrown out. Play on calls the umpire. Chain of handballs and then a standing start kick. Werribee Central's high and not too far. Chopped off again for Werribee nicely by Wallace. Feeds the hand pass wide. Gee, it's a hot potato in there, the football, isn't it, boys? And they all dive on the pill. They might all be just about spent by half-time, the way they're going at this pace in the first game of the season. We've got a ball up, centre wing, outer side of the ground.
Got to realise Phil haven't had a game for 6 months.
No. Yeah, a bit of pressure out there. It's not like a practice match, is it?
No, it is not. 24-minute mark of this first term. And it's been a great game of footy, and the scoreboard sees Thomson trailing by 1 point, the reigning premiers. 2-2-14 is the Werribee Central score. 2-1-13 Thomson as the ball comes in and goes out while I'm talking. We get another boundary throw in, true wing position, outer side of the ground here. Boundary umpire hurls it into the breeze, stands up in the breeze a bit. Gage just swats it down to the front of the pack. Bit of a throw out. Play on calls the umpire. Werribee in control. Nice little kick. Great vision there. And Corey Wallace accepts the mark on his chest between wing and the centre of the ground. Just keeps it low. Goes towards Twaits. Gets his head pulled off. No, it's for Stuka. Same hairdo. Different player. Play on calls the umpire. He allowed the advantage. And it winds up in the hands of Werribee Central's Andrew Cunningham. At half forward. Gee, it does stand up in the breeze, doesn't it, boys? And Thomson at the front of the pack just failed to take the mark. Still with Werribee Central's opportunity now. This is Roland Beck. And the ball's rolling out of his hands. And Thomson now will clear and a big booming kick into the middle of the ground.
Great mark.
In the middle of the ground. Hasn't had much of a...
That's 50.
Yeah, that's the new rule, because after the mark was taken, he still wouldn't let go, and the umpires have indicated to me that it's almost an automatic 50-metre penalty this year.
Yeah, well, he hasn't had much of the play today, but gee, that was a good, strong mark, wasn't it?
This is only his second kick, Phil, and that's unusual for Nick. He usually gets more than that.
Well, it might be a good one, because he finds himself now with this penalty, he'd be nearly 50 metres out still. It wasn't really a 50-metre penalty, was it?
Didn't get a big 50, won't buy any land off that umpire.
Good heavens, no. Anyway, he's probably about 40 out when he kicks at 45, keeps it low and kicks the goal.
Magnificent kick
Kicks
into the
the
breeze.
goal beautifully, Maheris. So they're third on the board. Thomson, the reigning premiers. They're on to 3-1-19, and they now lead by 5 behinds. 2-2-14 is the Werribee Central score. How far have we gone? 25 and a half minutes into the first term.
And the question I have to ask, where's Heath Buck? Is he out there?
I think he's over on the other side. He
Oh,
just can't get into the play round.
I can't get him on the stat sheet just yet.
No, well, that's important. He's on the other side with Joshua Coley playing against
haven't
him.
got him on the stat sheet either, so they're out in no man's land.
So into time on in the first quarter, the umpire puts the ball in the air once again. This time 50-50 tap down. Thomson do well through Harriet. He gets a handball. That time over to Henry. Long kick from Henry to full forward. Not well read there by Panther on that occasion. Dixon led him to the footy. Now he's infringed, and the free kick goes to Brad Dixon. Umpire felt no advantage, so Dixon of Werribee Central's in the back pocket has got the free kick for his team. I would imagine should go long from there, get it out of the defensive area. Not a long kick, but he's got it to half back. Oh, Tim Gardner. Doesn't take a lot of overhead marks, Laurie, but he took that well. Handball quickly to Daniels. He goes across the ground, but not well directed. But Nick Maharis does well. Spoiled the mark. Now he's through the footy, and advantage
they're
now
away.
paid to Werribee Centrals, and they're away. Handball goes to Wallace. Tried to bounce the ball in the soft conditions. Handball back to Chug, and a long kick from him to half forward has found a teammate out there in Welsh. He goes into centre half forward, into the corridor. That's where you've got to be, and that's the mark. I just about pay that to Werribee Central's in that pack, because only the one player had hands on it.
It's Kelly,
it is Chris Kelly, and just inside the 50-metre arc has taken the mark. Certainly a scoring position for Werribee Central's late in this first quarter. They trail by 5 points at the moment, but Kelly has the opportunity here to change that. Man on the mark at 45. Moving in there, Kelly. Oh, the wind. Gee, I would have thought the wind would have taken it the other way, but that might well be. No, not paid in the pack on that occasion. Antonello had their hands on the footy. Seemed to have, in fact, he's telling the umpire now that he thought he marked it.
He did.
Yeah,
But the umpire didn't agree, and I guess he has the last say. So the ball 5 metres out from the Werribee Central's goal here, in the air. Thomson, they'll be working hard. They've got numbers back. Ball thrown out for Thomson. Nobody able to control the footy. It's under a big pack of players. Surely the umpire will blow the whistle. He does. So at the 28-minute mark of the first quarter, the ball's 20 metres from the Werribee goal. Thomson leads 3-1, Werribee 2-2.
Well, has this wind swung around a bit since the start of the game?
It's very choppy, Phil.
Well, that held up, didn't it?
Oh.
Did it ever? Held up and then turned left. Amazing. It's very, very breezy out there as Gage just belts it back towards the boundary. Don't tell me from the boundary line it was for Stuka, wasn't it?
Yes.
Kicked across the goals. I thought he was going to kick a miracle. He didn't.
Well, it's Hollingsworth
but they've still got it.
And kicked it back into play. So Hollingsworth, I didn't
got it to
realise
Kelly.
He'd come onto the ground, Laurie.
Hollingsworth.
Well, that was terrific play because Hollingsworth was hard up against the point post, took the mark and belted it straight to Kelly at centre half forward.
He's about 15 metres closer than what he was for the last kick a minute ago.
See if he can get the
He
distance.
should have learned something from the last kick, shouldn't he?
Right.
Oh, he did. He
Oh,
did. The man
kicked
in the
in the
mark.
man after the siren, would you believe?
Dear.
So that was a fatal mistake, but at Godfrey Street, it is quarter time. And at quarter time, the scoreboard shows Thomson, the home side, 3-1-19, leading Werribee Centrals 2-2-14. Well, we'll go to a break.